Welcome to Forest Pathology YouTube channel at NC State University. I'm Mike Benson, instructor in the course. Today we're at a local TV station, Azalea Garden, to look at some diseases that attack azalea as well as other trees in the landscape. And we're looking at these azaleas this afternoon, and most of the azaleas are doing very well here in the garden. But we found this one area of the plant where there's been a lot of dieback. We're going to examine this more closely. If you want to come in close with the camera, we can maybe see what's going on here. We don't have any new growth. It's all last year's growth that's been killed. And the dieback has started here at the tip, but it seems to be working down the stem. So what I'm going to do is cut into the stem with my pocket knife here and start scraping it. And if you can move in close with that camera, you can see how reddish brown the bark is in that area. Now what I'm going to do is follow on down the stem to see if I can find live tissue. And look at that, just below this area the branch is alive. So I'm going to scrape this back here, and the side branch is alive. So somehow this one branch got infected. Now what we think is the cause of this disease is a fungus called Phomopsis. This Phomopsis has not been very well characterized because it is, there are many different species of Phomopsis. We don't know which one exactly this is on azaleas. But Phomopsis can cause dieback on junipers that are used as windbreaks in the Midwest. It can be a serious dieback pathogen on a lot of different trees and shrubs in the landscape. It has a really wide host range. So let's come back here and look at what's going on the stem. So Phomopsis needs a wound to infect. And so at some point on this twig, either where a blossom broke off earlier or there was some kind of wound, Phomopsis fungus will infect that infection cord, okay? And then it continues to grow through this stem. Now during wet periods of time, this fungus will form a pycnidium right here on the surface of the infected wood, and that pycnidium will produce conidia, spores, and those spores can be released either in tendrils or they can be released in a sticky ooze that is splash dispersed to other areas in the vicinity. Now splash dispersed pathogens can only move maybe at most 10 feet from where the conidia are produced in the pycnidium. So branches in the surrounding area that can become infected if they're wounded. But one of the keys for diagnosing this disease is do just what I've done. We've searched down the stem to see where the fungus has colonized the stem and killed that stem tissue, and then we can see below the colonized portion the stem is still healthy. So the primary control measure for this disease is to prune out this diseased stem well below where you see the end of the discoloration. If this branch is not pruned out and we were to come back to this plant next year, this dieback would be progressing all the way down to the ground, to the roots. And so it would kill this whole section of the plant and all the way down to the ground. So Phomopsis is a splash dispersed pathogen. Fungicides aren't used to control this disease either in nurseries or in the landscape because this fungus can attack anytime the temperature is 50 degrees or greater, because it's wounds that are so important. So anytime you have moist conditions, those pycnidia can form spores, conidia, that are splash dispersed to plants that have wounds. So pruning is the best control measure for Phomopsis dieback in azaleas as well as junipers and other tree hosts of this particular pathogen. So you can watch other videos in this series on the Forest Pathology YouTube channel here at NC State University. Thanks for joining us.